What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. A video that I wasn't expecting to make. The Toronto Maple Leafs just signed Jimmy Vesey to a one-year contract worth $900,000. All these years later, after all the teams like Buffalo, New York, Toronto, all these teams going after Jimmy Vesey, the Leafs have finally landed him. He's not as highly touted as before, but he's a good depth option for the Leafs now. I want to start off this video by telling everybody to calm down. There's a lot of people freaking out on Twitter. What's going to happen now? What are the Leafs going to do? Who are they trading? That still could happen, but Jimmy Vesey is not the reason why that's going to happen. This contract can be buried in the AHL if they want to. People are saying, well, Vesey will never play in the AHL. He won't have a choice. If the Leafs send him down, they can bury his contract in the minors. It won't count against the salary cap. I believe you can have about $1.2 million sent down to the Toronto Marlies. We will look at the Leafs cap situation in a little bit, but Jimmy Vesey is not affecting the Leafs salary cap that much. It's a $900,000 contract. Just calm down. Everything's going to be okay. They wouldn't have signed him if they didn't have a plan. This is all about internal competition and finding guys to battle each other for spots on this team. And this just makes sense. It's about internal competition. It's about battling for a spot. And Jimmy Vesey isn't a bad player to have as a fourth line option. I do not see him as a third line guy. I see him as a fourth line option. The Leafs could move on from a player with a little bit of a higher salary if they wanted to. But like I said, internal competition. So let's just look at the press release that was given out here by the MapleLeafs.com or NHL.com, the Maple Leafs website. The Toronto Maple Leafs announced today, like I said, that Jimmy Vesey has signed a one-year contract at $900,000. Vesey is still only 27 years old. He appeared in 60 games for the Sabres during the 1920 season and had 9 goals and 11 assists. In 304 career NHL games between the Sabres and the Rangers, he has 110 points for 59 goals and 51 assists. Of course, we know all about Vesey's career with Harvard because he was highly touted and everybody was talking about it, and I was invested around that time. You guys can go back and check it out. I made so many videos about Jimmy Vesey. And also, just quickly, by the way, if you are new to this channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed and liked this video. Thank you to all the new subscribers lately. I appreciate it, but if you want to see more, recommend more down below and subscribe. Like I said, I would greatly appreciate that. But very, very good player in terms of, you know, his Harvard University career, 144 points in 128 games. The Hobey Baker Award winner in NCAA, as well as the top men's player in 2015-16. You guys know all that stuff. Obviously, he was originally selected by the Preds, but then decided that he was not going to be staying there. So, again, I need to reiterate this. This is a depth move. This is a move that the Toronto Maple Leafs are not making to push somebody out of town. They're making this move to see and create internal competition. Now, don't get me wrong, a guy like Pierre Engvall could see his way out the door, not just because of Jimmy Vesey, but because of Joey Anderson. There's a bunch of different guys that can push people out. And I'm not going to lie, I'm hoping that Joey Anderson's the correct name. The Leafs have acquired so many people recently, and I've been trying to do my research, that all the names seem to have been meshed together over the last few days. But again, it's about internal competition. You're trying to find guys that will compete and play for the Toronto Maple Leafs and give it their all. And, you know, there's been problems with the Leafs maybe not having enough depth. As my watch goes off. Okay, good. My move goal is achieved. I'm sitting in a chair. That doesn't make sense. But anyways, I'm going off topic here. Let's just look at his stats again here. This is what his career has looked like so far. And I wanted to break it down a little bit season by season here, starting off with the Rangers. Now, you guys can see he is capable of scoring goals. Like, if he plays a full 81 this year like everybody else, he probably sits around the 12 to 13 goal mark, which isn't too bad. And to find a guy that could possibly score, you know, anywhere between 8 to 12 goals that could play on your fourth line, who knows? It could work out. They just need to see if he's going to be a fit in Toronto. Like I did say, there are other guys that will be pushing for this job that I will be showing in a second on Cap Friendly. And this won't be an easy fight for VC to get minutes or get into the lineup. He could easily be a healthy scratch, a guy that's just sitting in the press box. So, but again, like I said, like he's scored 16, 17, 17, and then 9 this past season with Buffalo, although they weren't a very good hockey team. And again, he didn't play in a full 81, much like everybody else. But it is very, very possible that he does get some time with the Leafs on their fourth line, and barring injury, maybe in the third line, or he just ends up with the Marlies. Who knows? But very intriguing. So let's pull this up right here. So you guys are seeing right away, I want you guys to look at that cap space. Yes, it says negative 1.8, but as you'll see, I have extra bodies there. So as you see, Mikheyev, I said 1.5 million. Maybe he's not a Maple Leaf. Joey Anderson, I had at 950. He was making 925 with the Devils. It could be less, could be more, but I wouldn't expect it to be more than $1 million. I mean, I could almost guarantee it. That's ridiculous. I also checked in with one of my friends who knows quite a lot about pretty much every single player in the NHL, and he's done his research on Joey Anderson and feels like he'll get less than $1 million as well on the 1 or 2 year contract. Now, I also have Barabanov there. I also have, of course, Jimmy Vesey. And don't look at the lines. I do not think Pierre Engvall is supposed to be on the second line. And I don't think TJ Brodie is going to be playing with Jake Muzzin. These are just made up, just thrown in there just so that way I could discuss. So there is a lot of internal competition here because there is Korshkov that's still with the Marlies as well. And then, of course, on the blue line, you have guys like Bogosian, Sandin, Liljegren. This is what Dubas has wanted. He wants depth, he wants competition, and he wants options. Now, with a guy like Jimmy Vesey, could a $1.25 million Pierre Engvall be expendable because they have not just Jimmy Vesey, but they have Nick Robertson, they have Joey Anderson, they have Barabanov. Maybe they re-sign Mikheyev, maybe they don't re-sign Mikheyev. There is a ton of options there, and they're not limited to just, oh, this is how the lineup is, this is how it's supposed to be. They have a bunch of different guys that they could turn to and say, okay, this guy could fill in minutes on the third or fourth line. This guy could kill penalties. This guy could fill in maybe on a second power play unit if we need a guy out front of the net. It's just pieces that they can move around. And, the elephant in the room, maybe a guy like Alex Kerfoot becomes expendable. Maybe a Justin Hall becomes expendable because you could maybe make a trade to open up cap space to, have another top four guy. Like I know Mackenzie Weegar is a big topic of discussion. So a ton of options, a ton of different ways that they could go with this. But Jimmy Vesey is a good, probably fourth line guy for this team. Like I wouldn't mind a Jimmy Vesey, Spezza, and Joey Anderson fourth line with the possibility of Barabanov getting in some games here and there. Even though a lot of people are actually frustrated that Barabanov isn't getting more attention. I've been putting him in my cap-friendly armchair GMs, except for the last one because the cap situation didn't work out too well, and that's the other thing. You have to figure out how to get yourself under the salary cap, which is clearly what the Leafs need to do. But again, it's all about options. It's about, I've said it a million times in this video, internal competition. You want to bring in guys that are fighting for those spots, and Jimmy Vesey is going to be a guy that fights for a position. He fights for that spot, and the Leafs have done a lot. Like Kyle Dubas has gone out there and made some moves. He's gone out there and stuck his neck out there really to try to see if he can make. He's made a big splash with TJ Brodie. He made a pretty hefty splash with Andreas Janssen and acquiring a cheaper Joey Anderson, a guy that possibly could be playing on the Leafs' third or fourth line next season. I've heard a lot of good things about him, guys. I've heard a lot of good things, and from what he's been saying, he wants to kind of play a Zach Hyman type of game, and who knows, maybe Jimmy Vesey can find a little bit of that spark as well. You want guys that are going to go in there and play a little bit gritty. I know Vesey's not really that type of guy, but maybe he's got to repackage his game a little bit. There's a lot of guys that have to do that over their NHL career and try to find that extra gear. So I love the fact that Dubas is going out there and just getting as many guys as possible that he thinks are valuable, not just getting a bunch of random players just to be like, just throw this guy in the third or fourth line. This will hold us off until the deadline, and then we can figure out. No, we're figuring out who can play on this team now, and if we need an extra body, this is a guy that could step in, and I really like that. I really, really like that. I think Vesey is a good pickup. So let me know what you guys think. Again, I'm so sorry. I haven't been talking about all NHL teams recently. The Leafs have done a lot, and I've been trying to keep up with everything else. Taylor Hall is on the Buffalo Sabres. I need to make a video about that because I actually really enjoy that, even though I'm a Leaf fan, which is crazy, to be honest with you. There's already Leafs and Sabres fans fighting on Twitter about this. Guys, just don't engage. It's ridiculous. But I like this move. I think it's very, very smart. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think down below. And again, thank you guys for all the new subscribers, all the people that have been commenting and, you know, supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate it. So thank you guys so much, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you are new, make sure to like this video and to subscribe. Share it, do whatever you want to do. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Andy Piluk as well if you want to do that. Also Andrew Piluk Official on Instagram. I never plug that stuff, but yeah, thank you guys so much, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.